What do the daughter of a Rabbitohs player, a former commander in the Royal Australian Navy, and a choco picker have in common? Find out in this, our very first episode of the Tradies Business Show. Plus, we share a simple secret that could completely change the way you do business.
Welcome to the Tradies Business Show, helping you get off the tools and into true business ownership, so you can spend more time doing the things that matter most. Now, here are your hosts, Warwick Bidwell and Michaela Clark.
Welcome to the Tradies Business Show. My name's Warwick Bidwell, and with me I have...
Michaela Clark.
G'day, Michaela. How are you today? I'm
very excited to be launching our show finally.
I'm excited too. And do you know why I'm so excited today?
Why, Warwick?
This is a good start, isn't it? I'm excited because our listener, or listeners, hopefully there's more than one of you out there in podcast land, but you, our listeners, are going to help us pop our podcasting cherry in this episode.
Well, I'm very excited.
You sound it too. So today's episode, we're going to talk about how and why we got into this whole podcasting gig and what we aim to achieve, a little bit of background on who we are, our mission for this whole podcast, Tradies Business Show, and obviously what you can expect from the show as well. So, Michaela, maybe tell our listeners a little bit about how we got into this. It's an interesting story, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is, Warwick. So I guess a little bit about me to start with. So my name's Michaela Clark, and I now run a company called Tradies VA. Basically, it all started about a few years ago. I'm a wife of a tradie, and I started my own virtual assistant business, and I quickly realised that tradies and those that work on the road all day are really the ones that needed the most help. You know, my husband was coming home at night, being on the tools all day, and then spending a couple of hours at night doing paperwork, and I thought, you know what, there's got to be an easier way than doing it like this. And also, you know what, I occasionally wanted him to have dinner with me as well. So it was really important for me to find out ways that he can work smarter and, you know, also have more money in the bank and actually start running a true business. So I started working as a virtual assistant, learning all these tools and tricks that he could use and implemented them into his business. And then, of course, his mates and everyone else wanted to know about it as well. So over the last couple of years, I've helped heaps of small business owners work smarter and not harder. And now we specialise in providing virtual admin and marketing support help to those that do work on the road, so they can really focus on what they do best, which is on the tools, and we focus on doing all those jobs that they hate. And I really, you know, it's so important that we get the message across that there is an easier way to work. I have 3 kids, you know, a busy husband. I live with my mother. I have a few cats and dogs. So it's so critical that the time that I have and my husband have is used to spend with family and doing what we love. So I'm really, really passionate about getting the message across that there is an easier way to work.
That's right.
Yeah. So, Warwick, who the hell are you?
Thanks, Michaela. Well, my name's Warwick Bidwell, and I'm the founder of a business called Tradies Business Toolkit. So I've been business coaching and mentoring for the last 7 or 8 years. Come from an accounting and financial planning background, but I'm actually the son of a builder, and my burning desire when I was leaving school, and I wanted to leave school at 15 because I hated it, was to go on the tools with my old man or become a motor mechanic. So unfortunately for me, I was too good at school, so I got sent off to university, and here I am today. So basically, Tradies Business Toolkit, we help tradies get off the tools so much and start to build a business that really gives them cash flow, profit, lifestyle, help them with goal setting, all the sort of stuff that everybody knows they should be doing in their business, but perhaps they don't know what it is that they should focus on first. And sometimes it's the how-to. So, you know, I see I'm showing people what they should be doing, and Michaela, obviously you're helping them actually implement it as well if they don't literally have the time, and that's certainly one of the challenges we see with our clients.
That's right, and an idea is as only good as it getting implemented, so it's really critical that they get this advice and actually take some action and get it done, because that's the only way they're going to get off the tools and have a bit better life.
Absolutely, and I'll refrain from using any wanky cliches and acronyms. So if I use too many acronyms, Michaela, maybe just kick me under the table here.
So we're not going to skyrocket your profits today?
There'll be no skyrocketing of anything, except maybe some illegal fireworks in the Northern Territory. So, Michaela, tell me, what is this about being the daughter of a Rabbitohs player? You for real?
I am. And he actually played for Fitzroy as well.
Oh,
so
no.
he did AFL and NRL. And also he was actually a Victorian dive champion as well.
So we've just lost half our audience in that little statement there.
So he worked all his life. He went from sport, obviously, to jobs and never really found what he loved doing and really worked for minimum wage all his life. My mother was a nurse as well. And so they really struggled all their life growing up. They both did shift work, so we really didn't have a lot of time together. And, I remember my mum saying that she'd go to different vegetable stores to find the cheapest peas, each week, and going to Vinnie's to get school shoes and things like that. And I know they gave me absolutely everything that they had growing up in uni. They certainly gave me their last $50 so I could buy groceries. I didn't have to get a job. So I really found that when I grew up that I wanted to make life a little bit easier for my family and my kids and have a bit of choice in how we lived. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with living a bit more comfortable and having money in the bank. So that's something that I'm really passionate about, is creating a lifestyle that I choose and I want with my family. And that's what I'm hoping to help all our listeners do that as well.
And that's certainly my experience as well. And we probably come from similar backgrounds, which is a part of the reason that our colleague, the Navy commander, has hooked us up. So I, as I said earlier, I was pretty good at school and my parents convinced me to go to university, but their motivation for that was because my dad believed that anybody who was working on the tools as a tradesman was destined to be physically wrecked and financially fairly poor all their life. So he decided that a better future for me was to go and get a good education, but not having a lot of money and coming from, probably a lower class family as well. I went to a public school, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but had to pay my own way through university. So to do that, I worked as a farm labourer in my holidays. So I, instead of going to the beach and to parties, when all of my mates at university, at business school, were off living it up, I was out picking chocos and mucking out pigsties and shoveling chicken litter, I think is the politically correct term for it. So
lovely.
But same thing, I've watched my dad really end up with nothing. He's in his early 70s now. His health is in a pretty poor state. They've got no money. They're trying to survive on an aged pension, and all because he never turned what was a great trade for him. He was a very good builder and did some fantastic work, but he never actually took that and turned it into a business that paid any sort of a passive income. And that's why we're here doing this podcast, Michaela, is to help you, our listeners, actually take those steps, sometimes very simple steps, to get off the tools and, as we say, into true business ownership, where you're generating an income and not just working your backside off to make a wage or a living. And
I really think it's a lot easier than a lot of people think it is to start really running a business and not just be a tradie on the tools. And that's what we're all about, showing you how to do it and why you should do it, but giving you some really easy tips and tricks that you can implement any day of the week to help get you to that goal.
That's absolutely right, Michaela, and it's something that I see with my clients, and I'm sure you as well with yours, is that people think this is really complicated. And growing a great trade business is actually quite simple. The big thing that we need to do, though, is be open to change, which is the opposite to my dad, who still believes that the best way to build a house is with hardwood frame and hardwood trusses. And I don't think you'd find too many of those around Australia anymore these days. But look, as a listener to this show, we know that you're ready for change, you're open to new ideas. So what are we going to deliver on, Michaela?
So the Tradie Business Show is all about providing practical and useful advice that you can get anywhere. So whether you're driving in the car or fiddling in the shed, wherever you're going to go, you can hear us two mugs having a bit of a chat about how to make your business a bit better. So it's going to be a twice weekly show on a Tuesday and a Friday, and it'll be a real mix of some things that we teach our clients and we've learnt along the years, as well as some guests that are tradies living the dream and other small business owners that are really living the life they want, as well as running a successful small business. And, the odd expert to help you get there faster as well.
What, you're saying we don't know everything?
Not quite.
Not just yet.
No.
And look, we're new to this podcasting game as well, so there'll be some background noise and a few stuff-ups, but we want this to be a real show for real people. So, really looking forward to the journey. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited.
That went well.
We can edit that out.
Yeah.
Got a question you want answered on the show? Go to tradiesbusinessshow.com.
So, Warwick, what is this secret that we mentioned earlier?
Oh, yeah. The one thing that's going to revolutionise your business.
That's it. Well, besides listening to the Tradies Business Show,
yeah,
what else?
Of course. Look, the one thing that tradies you need to embrace is change. And you've heard it all before, but I think the key to that is to just pick one thing at a time, go and implement it in your business. And maybe it's one thing a month, Michaela.
And over 12 months, that's 12 different things in your business that you've changed, and that cumulative effect can really dramatically change the results that you're getting in your business.
Totally. Simple stuff. Just
And it's simple stuff. It's how you answer the phone. It's how you write your quote out. It could be how you manage your staff and change the way you do your team meetings.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So to help you do that, we've put together a one thing checklist. So one thing a month for the next 12 months. Go to the website, tradiesbusinessshow.com, and put in /1, as in the number 1. And in the show notes, you'll find the link to download the checklist. You can stick it on the wall in the workshop or the bathroom or
toilet, dunny, wherever you spend the most time.
Hopefully not. But go grab that. And Michaela, if they've got questions...
Certainly, you can leave us a voicemail on the website. If you've got a question you'd like to hear us answer on the show, go there. It's really simple. Leave a quick voicemail message of what your question is. Tell us about your business, and you may be featured on an upcoming episode.
Awesome. You'll be a radio star as well.
That's right. And while you're online, don't forget to subscribe to our show on iTunes so you never miss another episode. And make sure to check out episode 2, where we talk to a sheet metal worker who just bought close to $1 million oceanfront property due to the success of his business. Bye for now.
Hooroo.
You've been listening to the Tradies Business Show with Warwick Bidwell and Michaela Clark. Want to get off the tools and into true business ownership? Find out how at tradiesbusinessshow.com.